in Lauryn Hill, if I ruled the world, then I would call things what they are. A disturbing article appeared in the Chicago newspaper, and it alleges that several Chicago police officers were accused of sexual misconduct. They were accused of having inappropriate sex with migrant minors. So in other words, minors who had come here seeking asylum, probably escaping desperate positions, were met here and allegedly raped by the people who are charged with protecting them. Resulting in one of them being pregnant. Now, there are a couple of things that are disturbing about that. One is, how do you find several officers in a police department that engage this type of activity? And how do those officers, in any way, how are they able to pass a background check? Because there's something insidious about someone or a group of grown men who would rape children. And the fact that those grown men found comfort in a group of other men who swore to protect the citizenry. And I don't know what kind of system allows men like that to find a place to work where they have access to the very things they're supposed to be protecting us from. The other thing is, one of the little girls, and she was a little girl, is supposed to be pregnant. And the thing that was funny about the article is they're talking about they're investigating. You really don't need to investigate, right? You can do a DNA test. Maury can find out who the father is. You could too. The other thing I find particularly disturbing is if she was in another state and the same thing had befallen her in Ohio or Indiana, that girl, that baby, would be forced to bring that baby to term. She would be forced to bring a child of her rapist, her protector who became her rapist. The other thing that I found particularly insidious was the way that the media posed this thing. These are men who are guilty of sexual misconduct. Now, the bottom line is, anytime grown men have sex with children, that is rape. And it's funny how the media is complicit in nuancing a thing. It is rape, and you need to call it what it is. And these are men who are sworn to protect and serve us, not serve us up. And the media nuances what they're called. Much like R. Kelly wasn't called someone who was guilty of sexual misconduct, he was called a pedophile and a rapist. And so should these men. It's the same media, some of the same papers. Newspapers. They had no problem calling R. Kelly what he is. They should have no problem calling these men what they are. And the reason they do it is because it's two things. One is because they're supposed to be men who are in authority and they're designed and they want to protect them. And two is because those children were brown. Those children, the men were blue and the children were brown. And they wanted a particular narrative. They wanted a narrative. Whether you are a man who holds a microphone or a man who holds a baton, if you have sex with children, you're a rapist and you should be treated that way. Now, of course, the presumption of innocence in America is afforded to everyone. I want the same type of articles you wrote about R. Kelly, who's a rapist, and these people who are rapists. There's an expression that the pen is mightier than the sword. The sword can cut, it can stab. It can cut and stab and end lives. And so can a pen. A pen is just as mighty as a sword because in addition to doing everything that a sword can do, it can also shape a narrative. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.